Good morning, class. Today we're going to discuss about motor behavior. But before that, let us have our class objective. Let me read the class objective. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to A. Define what is motor behavior. B. Identify the 5 characteristics of motor learning. And C. Perform an example of motor skill. Now, let's start our discussion. Again, our topic for today is all about motor behavior. What is motor behavior, class? Motor behavior is the study of how we produce movements. These are types of movements: gait, balance, reflexes, reaching, or grasping. In motor behavior, there are psychological and neurophysiological investigations that are divided into 3 disciplines, which are motor control, motor development, and motor learning. Okay, what is motor control, class? Motor control is the study of postures and movement that is mechanism that underlie them. Also, motor control can be defined as the study of how an individual can execute designated motor skills through the neuromuscular control process in response to internal environmental demands. Next is motor development. What is motor development, class? Motor development refers to a development of a child's bones, muscles, and ability to move around and manipulate his or her environment. Motor development can be divided into 2 sections: gross motor development and fine motor development. So in this stage, a child's bones or muscles may improve while conducting or while performing a gross motor skill or fine motor skill. It improves their muscles around the body. Next, what is gross motor skill? Gross motor skill involves the development of the large muscles in the child's body. These muscles allows us to sit, stand, walk, and run, among other activities. So gross motor skills helps a person or a child develop his bigger muscles, including legs, feet, trunks, and any part of the body. Next, fine motor development involve the small muscles of body, especially in the hand. So fine motor development, it helps a person or a child develop his muscle or fine muscle or the small muscle that can be found in finger or hand. Next, motor development also involves how well children's muscle work. This is referred to as muscle tone. Children needs a balanced muscle tone in order to develop their muscle and use them with ease when standing, sitting, rolling, walking, running, swimming, and all of other postures and actions. Motor development also involves the child's vestibular and proprioceptive systems. Both of these are parts of the child's sensory system. What is the vestibular system? The vestibular system is located in the inner ear and allows the body to maintain balance. Next, the proprioceptive system involves the inner ear, the muscles, joints, and tendons. It allows the body to understand where it's located, maintaining balance and posture, and having coordination. Movements are only possible if the proprioceptive system is functioning well. Okay, next, what is motor learning? Motor learning has been defined as a set of internal processes associated with practice or experience leading to relatively permanent changes in the capability for skilled behavior. So motor learning is a process in which a person will develop or will improve his motor skill during the execution. In other words, motor learning is when complex processes in the brain occurs in response to practice or experience of a certain skill, resulting in changes in the central nervous system that allows for production for the new motor skill. So these are the three stages in which motor learning occurs. First, cognitive stage. What is cognitive stage, class? During this initial stage of motor learning, the goal of this stage is to develop an overall understanding of the skill. The learners must determine what the object of the skill is and begin to process environmental factors that will affect their ability to produce the skill. The teacher must do their best to provide an optimal environment for learning. During this stage, the learner mostly relies on visual inputs and trial and error to guide learning. Okay, one of the examples of cognitive stage is before your child masters walking, they will most likely look a bit awkward and will definitely stumble a few times. Next is the associative stage. During this stage, the learner begins to demonstrate a more refined movement through practice. So in associative stage, so a person or a child make or develop a new skill that can make her or his motor skill improve into a wide learning. Example of associative stage, let's continue with the walking. During the initial clumsy stage, your child may demonstrate small, choppy steps, wide base of support, arms up high in the guarded position, and little to no trunk rotation. In this stage, you may see your child taking longer, more controlled steps, narrowing their base of support, and allowing their arms to relax at their sides. Next stage, class. Autonomous stage. What is autonomous stage, class? During this final stage of learning, the motor skill becomes mostly automatic. Progression to this level of learning allows the learner to perform the skill in any environment with very little cognitive involvement compared to the first stage. So this last stage is autonomous stage, which is fully developed of a person about his or her motor skill. For example, your child will now be able to walk in a predictable environment such as your home or unpredictable environment such as crowded birthday party at the park on the grass without difficulty. Okay, let's move on, class, to our 5 characteristics of motor learning. Motor learning is an internal process that cannot be observed from the external perspective. This means that how much an athlete has learned is an unknown factor from the outsider's perspective because motor learning takes place inside the learner's brain and the muscular movements are only a reflection of brain activities. Next characteristics. Motor learning is a set of processes for the purpose of reaching specific learning objectives. Obviously, different types of learning will produce different results, and sports scientists continuously search for the best motor learning processes for particular motor skill based on individual differences. Next characteristic. The goal of motor learning is to form the designated motor behavior habits through proper training. Next, once a motor skill is learned, it becomes relatively permanent and will not be easily forgotten. For example, once an individual has learned how to ride a bike, he or she will never forget how to do it. Last, according to Wang and Yang on 2012, motor learning is not a value-free and it can be negative to form a bad habit that is extremely hard to be changed once it is formed. So it cannot be changed at all. Next topic, motor performance. What is the motor performance, class? Motor performance is an end result or outcome of executing a motor skill that can be observed from the external perspective. So motor performance can be realized when a person executed or participating in any activities of the environment. That's all for today, class. Did you learn about motor behavior? Do you have any questions about our discussion? Okay, good. Now, let's proceed to our activity.